How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? It's David here, and we're back with the 8th episode of our podcast. And in this episode, we talk about CarPlay officially gets announced by Apple. IntelliBoard finally releases IntelliScreen X7 beta to the public. A3 Tweaks releases brand new, amazing iPhone 5S tweak Asphalia. A new prank surfaces the internet that says, finally, a company named HoverTech announces new hoverboards with endorsements from Tony Hawk and Christopher Lloyd. In a surprise release, Apple finally issues iOS 7.1 to the public. Jailbreakers are advised to stay away. And much, much more. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? It's David here, and we're back with the 8th episode of our podcast. And I'm here with Max from In Other Apple News, my co-host, Max from In Other Apple News. Max, this is our 8th time doing this. Go ahead, say hi.
What is going on YouTube and Other Apple News here? We're back with another podcast.
And so this is the 8th time around. And how was your week, Max?
Good. How's yours?
Good. A couple of cool things happened, sort of, that I cannot say yet, but if you've seen my vlog, you know a little bit of what I'm talking about. I actually made a vlog spilling the beans, but then I decided to take it down because nothing's been finalized yet, so I don't want to give away too much. If you haven't seen it, then you'll know what I'm talking about sooner than later. But if you have seen it, then you do know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so I put this vlog up a little while ago, so basically it just talks about how we are going to have Curry Monster TV, Akil, work with us on the podcast. Now, it is not, unfortunately, this week. We have decided that we are not going to put him on this week just because we felt the podcast was already set in stone. He couldn't do it today anyway, so I just, figured it'd be best if we just did, the first episode with him next week and sort of introduced it to, everyone that way. So, so you want to get started, Max?
Sure thing.
Okay, so CarPlay finally gets announced by Apple. Now, this is a little while ago. Again, this was like from 2 weeks ago. Apple officially announced iOS in the car. That was what it was what it was codenamed by a lot of people, but it actually is officially named CarPlay by Apple. And basically now in the iOS 7.1 update, you are actually able to get this functionality with I think it's Ferraris, and I think what else did they say? Do you know? I think it's Ferraris.
I thought it was Lamborghinis. I don't know. I'm not sure.
They'll probably implement that soon, but I don't think Lamborghinis are on the launch lineup. But I did remember hearing that Ford was going to have CarPlay in 2015 in their models, but they quickly apparently pulled that right after Apple made that official announcement, and then made a statement saying, look, we had no idea about this, no contracts were signed, we knew nothing about this whatsoever, and we have no plans as of right now to implement iOS in the car or CarPlay into our car models. So is this what we're probably going to start seeing? Yeah, we're probably going to start seeing Tesla and Acura and Ford and Lamborghini, all the popular car brands. We're probably going to see them start to implement this new CarPlay functionality into their new car models. So it's a pretty cool feature. So basically, if you don't know what it is, it's basically I guess you could say sort of like a mirroring system. So it's basically, cars already had like hands-free link built in. So if someone was calling you while you were in the car, you don't have to put your phone up to your ear. There's this thing called the hands-free link, and there's a speaker in the car, and there's a mic in the car, and you can talk into it, and you can also drive without holding anything up to your ear and, distracting you. So I guess that will be the new hands-free link. I don't know. I guess that's probably what it is. But anyway, so do you think when you turn 18 you'll use it when you get a car?
Yeah, probably. I mean, as much as I love Apple and everything it's done, it's a good way to implement something that would rather be unexpected.
Right. And I mean, we just before all these leaks, we just had no idea that something like this was. I thought this was going to be far off, like probably like 2 or 3 years from now. But yeah, it's here. It is officially announced, and it is coming to a couple different car models in the next couple of years. So get psyched for that. So, Max, you want to talk about the? Let's skip the iRing because that's a little weird. So you want to talk? I mean, I know you don't know much about this, but do you want to talk about the next topic?
Sure. IntelliBorn releases beta IntelliScreen X7. So, me and David are both familiar with IntelliScreen, and I got it I got a demo from it. Cydia offers a demo. I think it
Yes.
was like a 3-day demo.
Yes. So there is a $10 charging fee. It is $9.99 in the Big Boss repo. Now it has been cracked before, past previous versions of IntelliScreen X, but IntelliScreen X7 has not been cracked officially yet. So if you see anyone advertising that, it's most likely a scam. So I would just wait until it's properly cracked. But for the $10, it really is worth it, especially with the new swipe feature, with which we've heard so much about. It's really amazing with the different things you can do. I mean, it really just is the perfect version of IntelliScreen X. So if you guys are looking for IntelliScreen X, if you guys are on iOS 6, I would definitely consider upgrading to iOS 7 if you can. If you're on a device that supports it, and buying IntelliScreen X7 instead of IntelliScreen X6 or a previous version of IntelliScreen X, because really IntelliScreen X7 is probably the best version of IntelliScreen. So the next thing we have to talk about that is in our show notes is Asphalia. So we do not we are not able to demo this, but it is a really amazing tweak. It is co-designed by Sentry and I think a couple of other guys, and basically it's basically an iPhone 5S Touch ID tweak, and basically it's like a lot of those different tweaks with BioLockdown and BioProtect, and it basically lets you lock down your applications, lock down your folders, and make them only be authenticated with Touch ID or with a password. So this is a very amazing design. It's really awesome. Sort of reminds me of the James Bond-ish 007 style. If you know what I'm talking about with the fingerprints, it kind of reminds me of stuff like that. So it's definitely pretty cool. So I believe it's $3.99. So I think you can actually, now the nice thing is Sentry and the other developers realized that BioLockdown and BioProtect were available before Asphalia was out, much before, and it's basically the same idea. So they realized that, and they are actually giving a 20% discount for anyone who has bought BioProtect or BioLockdown, and that'll just be selling for I believe $1.99 instead of $3.99. So it's a pretty good price if you think about it for that tweak. It's definitely a really nice design, Touch ID tweak. I love that. But anyway, do you know much about the next topic, Max?
The next topic, let me pull it up. Here I'll just say what it is. HoverTech announces new hoverboards from Tony Hawk and Christopher Lloyd. I don't really skateboard that much, but like a hoverboard is like, I've seen it implemented in like many animated shows and movies and stuff like that. So I guess I'm looking forward to it. I don't know.
Well, I should have put on there that unfortunately, this was unfortunately a prank that they did. And what made it seem so real is they got endorsements from Tony Hawk, who, if you don't know who Tony Hawk is, he's a pretty famous skateboarder. And they also got endorsements from Christopher Lloyd, who played Dr. Emmett Brown on Back to the Future. And basically, the whole idea around the hoverboard is it's a board that hovers. And it was from Back to the Future Part 2. And basically, basically how they did it is they had a board, and they basically had a wire, and they attached the wire to the person's back, whoever was the actor or whoever was on the hoverboard, and they attached it to the person's back, and then they lifted them up in the air, so it really looked like the hoverboard was flying, but in reality, it really wasn't. And they did this also in Back to the Future Part 2, which is why it looks so real, because it was pretty much the same special effects that Back to the Future Part 2 had implemented into that. Again, it's a pretty, that was a pretty good, thing there. But, yeah, unfortunately, as a prank, I really wish it wasn't a prank. Unfortunately, I don't know how far off we are of that being reality. It probably won't be reality for a little while.
Yeah, like in the future.
Yeah, but I'm expecting that from like 20, 30 years from now. But anyway, that was a pretty cool little topic there. So going back to Asphalia, what do you think about it, Max?
It's interesting. I mean, I don't know if it's something that I'm going to be getting or not. I'm not sure if it's worth it. But I'll look into getting it. It looks. I've heard good things. So.
Mm-hmm. So Walmart, the next thing we have to talk about is, now this happened about, I think, last week. So Walmart actually dropped the price of the 16 gigabyte iPhone 5S and the iPhone 5C down to just $119 for the 16 gigabyte iPhone 5S. And for the 16 gig 5C, it's down to just $29, which is amazing if you think about it. The 5C for $29. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not due for an upgrade yet. I do have the 5. Most likely when I'm due for an upgrade, I'm probably going to get the 6, because that's probably going to be around the time when I have the upgrade available. When I'm due for it, it's probably going to be around the time when the 6 launches. So I'm probably going to get the 6. I may get the 5S. Probably not, though. I'll probably go with the 6, because it's probably going to have major improvements with that as well. So that is pretty awesome there. So we don't really have anything else to talk about, but if you're looking for a new phone, I know my friend Richie is looking for a new phone. So again, if you're looking for a new phone and you have less than an iPhone 5 and you're looking for a new phone for a cheap price, you're due for an upgrade and your phone is cracked to bits and pieces like my friend Richie's is, then you probably want to go to Walmart and get that $29 iPhone 5C 16 gigabyte configuration. I think that is pretty well worth the price.
Yep.
So the next thing that is in our show notes, unfortunately, is iOS 7.1 was finally released to the public. I believe this was the 10th, so I believe this was about 5 days ago, so this was like last week. But 7.1 released, so all of the jailbreakers, it does patch. Unfortunately, it was inevitable. We predicted it, and it is true. It is confirmed that the final version of iOS 7.1 does, in fact, patch the Evasion 7 jailbreak. So if anyone wants the Evasion 7 jailbreak still, if anyone wants to keep their jailbreak and not forfeit their jailbreak on iOS 7, then users are prompted kindly not to remember to update 7.1. So that is I'm just saying. Unfortunately, there was a signing window, like there always is, because Apple leaves a little window open for a little amount of time. In the first time it was like a week or so, and then they closed the window. Then I believe a year ago it was like a couple days. Then they closed the window, and now it's down to a couple minutes. So I do give Apple some credit here, definitely, that they are able to get security this down to pat here, guys. I mean, that's actually pretty awesome. It went from weeks to just seconds or minutes within the new update being released. So that is pretty cool. But again, jailbreakers are advised not to update to iOS 7.1. They are advised to stay on iOS 7.0.6 or iOS 7.0.4, depending upon what you have installed. So, did you have a chance to update to 7.0.6, Max?
I don't recall updating. I think I'm back on the firmware 7.0. I can actually check right now. Hold on. Uh, about version 7.0.4. So I did not upgrade yet, but I'm not sure if I will, because then I would have to, because on this jailbreak I would have to unjailbreak it, and then
Well, it's unfortunately now. I'm cringing at the fact, but unfortunately now it is virtually impossible to update again because of the fact that iOS 7.1 does kill the jailbreak, and they close the window for 7.0.6 to update. So now, if you try to restore an update, you will be automatically forced to update to 7.1 rather than 7.0.6, unfortunately. So if you did not update, there is a we talked about this, I think, last time. There is a patch available on Cydia called SSL patch, which you probably want to get, Max. But so it's not that big of a deal. But everyone that is on iOS 7.0.6 or below on iOS 7 that has a jailbreak that doesn't want to forfeit their jailbreak is strongly advised to stick with 7.0.6 or below and not to update to iOS 7.1, seeing as that patches the Evasion 7 jailbreak. So anyway, so the next thing we have for you guys today is Flappy Bird. Actually, the creator of Flappy Bird announced that he may be thinking about returning the app Flappy Bird back to the App Store and Google Play market. So this is actually pretty surprising. Now, some people are saying this is because this in the beginning this was a huge publicity stunt, and because if you take something away for a while, it's going to attract a lot of curiosity, especially an app this popular that got 50K in revenue per day. I mean, that's a lot of money per day even. In ad revenue. So, an app that was doing this well, I think it was #1 on the App Store's top charts for a straight couple of months. So it was definitely a really popular app, and it just randomly got taken down so suddenly. So I think, again, that's something to think about. But anyway, so like I said, so Flappy Bird is maybe making a return to the App Store and Google Play. Now there is other ways to get it. You can get it from having the .apk or .ipa file online, and then because it's already signed by Apple, you can just put it in through iFunbox or whatever, whether you're jailbroken or not. It doesn't really matter. I'm not going to get into the specifics of those things. But anyway. So, what do you think about it, Max? Do you think you're going to, I think you already have Flappy Bird, right? So you're not going to really do anything with it.
Yeah, so for once a piece of news doesn't apply to me.
Yeah, same for me, but it's just going to be nice to know that if you ever have to restore something or you ever have to get a new phone, it's nice to know that you're able to get Flappy Bird once again without having to go through these hard steps of finding the IPA file or the .apk file online and then putting it into Funbox, iFunbox, and then doing all those steps. It could get somewhat cumbersome, somewhat annoying. So it's nice to know that it'll be available officially on the App Store and Google Play soon enough. So whether or not he chooses to do this, that will be the question of the hour. But that is definitely something we would probably love to know. Anyway, Max, do you want to take the next one? You want to introduce the next one?
Sure. So the next one is a tweak called Badger for iOS 7. So I didn't really research this tweak, but I have seen pictures from iDownloadBlog and other things like that. And the pictures that I have seen is it's like a notification that you get like when somebody sends you a text message. I think it blurs the whole screen out, and then you can choose what you want to do. You can call the person, trash it, reply, or like mark it as if you have seen it. So it is it's a tweak. Did it come out yet? Did it?
I'm not sure. It's not showing up on Cydia for me. Let me just see. I'm pretty sure it did. Badger. Yes, it did come out yes. And it is available in Cydia's Big Boss repo for $1.49 if you're wondering about getting that. And also, too, there's a version for iOS 5 and iOS 6 that is again as well. It is again as well. I believe $1.49. Let me just check. Yeah, or no, it's actually 99 cents. So yeah, so it's a pretty good deal, guys. Basically, yeah, he explained it perfectly. I haven't tried this out yet. I probably will as soon as our show is over. This is really, this is not that, we couldn't find that many topics for this episode, but it's actually a good thing because some of our episodes were pretty long. That way, not to bore people or anything. So, yeah, so the next thing we have to talk about, I think this is a great one, a great jailbreak tweak. Now, this is not available yet. Jeff from iDownloadBlog actually showed us the first preview of this. It is called Pro Widgets, and it will be available specifically for the it's designed for the iPad, but it'll be a Cydia tweak that will be available in the Big Boss repo for both the iPhone and the iPad. And basically, it's multitasking, and you can put different things in different windows, and it's pretty awesome. What do you think of it, Max? I know we both saw the preview video. We haven't gotten to test it yet. Hopefully, we will as soon as it comes on the Cydia. So, what do you think about it?
Well, it's another interesting one. Pro Widgets is one that I watched a video on from iDownloadBlog, and it's a tweak that I look forward to getting, and I might get it sooner than later.
And then the last one for this episode, and then we will wrap up, is HipJot keyboard for Cydia. Now this is actually, we talked about this, if you guys remember, we talked about this in I want to say the second episode. It was a really long time ago. And we had been talking about that the guy by, I don't know the developer's name, but the guy that developed the app for the App Store, HipJot, he was actually planning on releasing the same style keyboard for jailbroken iOS users, and he was talking about making this a jailbreak tweak. So it is officially available. It's called HipJot Keyboard for Cydia, and it is basically a swipe style keyboard like you can get on Android 4.4 KitKat and below. And basically, it's a pretty nice keyboard. I haven't demoed it yet. I saw iDownloadBlog demo it. And it just sort of makes me want to demo it. I haven't demoed it yet, as I said, but I probably will after the show. But, yeah, guys. So, what do you think of it, Max?
HipJot is something that I haven't looked up, but I have seen a brief video on, I've just seen what it does. I think it works like a Kindle, it corrects you instead of, I don't really know how to explain it.
Well, yeah, guys. So that's it for this episode of Let's Talk Tech, episode number 8. Hope you guys like it. Make sure to rate, like, comment, subscribe, and favorite this video. Same time next week, Max?
Sure thing.
Okay. Alright.
Alright.
Talk to you later.
See ya.
See ya.
Peace.
Peace. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.
You can't stop saying peace. Alright.
Peace.
Peace.